Hey everyone, it's Jen at Ink Paper Rubber. I have got some more new tailored expressions to share with you today. Of course, we got in the new release last Friday, and we sold out of a number of items within just a couple of days. So we have gone ahead and restocked on some of that, and we also brought in some other things that we didn't have in the first go-round. So if you missed out on any of these items, we have them back in stock, and we also have some fun new things to take a look at. So first thing that I want to show you is the latest addition to the On a Hinge line from Tailored Expressions, and this one is the chick. And of course, these are a set of stamps and dies that you can use with the little hinge die that they released previously. And so you can make it on this, you can make it so the little chick's legs wobble. There's also some other cute variations that I have seen from that, but there is the stamp set and there is the die set. We also have the hinge that you need to use if you want to make it swing back and forth. And we also have the little slider discs as well as the round pop dots that you need to make all of that work together. Also got back in the mini ink cubes of the 3 new colors. I love these colors. They're perfect for spring. Spearmint, peaches and cream, and raspberry sorbet. And we also have the cardstock that matches that as well. Another set that proved to be very, very popular was the Inky Fingers stamp set. I think a lot of you saw the possibility using this with kids and grandkids. You can stamp your fingerprint or thumbprint, and then you have the little bunnies to stamp on top of it, the chicks, the butterflies, and some other cute little elements. And I also went ahead and got in the Sugar Cube little small ink pad. This is their white pigment ink, and this works really great on colored cardstock to make little fluffy white bunnies, and I'll show you some samples of that in a minute. Also got in some of their other Easter stamps and dies. This one is probably one of my favorites from this set, the Third Day Border die. And there are also a couple of sentiment sets that went really quickly. This one is called Easter Blessings. It's part of their inside scoop, which means that you have sentiments that you can use both on the outside and the inside of your card if you would like. Also got in the Easter Words of Faith. This has 4 larger stamps on it. You can see we have some Bible verses on there, and that works really great it works great with the new Pretty Posies background or some of the other dies that have opening in the center. Also got back in the Skinny Mini Fiesta borders. This one was really popular. It goes great with their new No Drama Llama set, also with their Can't Touch This, which is their cactus set, as well as just any kind of party theme thing. These little borders would be great for that. All right, on to some things that we did not have last week, so these are brand new for us. First of all is a new background die. This is part of their Backstory line, and this one is their Easter Backstory. Some of you may remember that we recently used their Valentine Backstory on a card, and this just makes a really fun background for your Easter card. You can see there it has jelly beans, Easter, bunny, egg hunt, so that makes a really fun background. They also have some new stamps and dies with a Scandinavian theme, and this one is their Scandinavian spring background. You can see here all the Scandinavian elements on here, the tulips, the birds, the little birdhouses, the cherries, the little horse. I think that's called a dala maybe, but lots of little Scandinavian elements on there. And then they also have this die set, which looks pretty simple, but when you see some samples made up, I absolutely love it. I really like this birdhouse. It's a layered birdhouse. You can see there how the front layer has the cutouts on it so that you can have the colors show through there. Again, you have some birds and some tulips, and that would go great with the Scandinavian spring background. There is also a new stencil. This is the Folk Art Tulips stencil. So that one is really nice to work with those as well. And finally, they have a set called Folk Art Phrases. I think this would be great for a lot of different things. It has some really fun sentiments on it. Look at you being awesome. You are one of a kind. And you can see that some of the words on here have some kind of folk art detailing in them, so it makes it fun and a little bit different. Last two things I want to show you. This one is their Spring Stacked Seasons. If you like to color, this is an amazing stamp. This is just a single large stamp that has the word spring on it, and then it has all these fun springy elements, the bunny and the chick, the eggs, the little lamb, the flowers, and the birds. So that just that one stamp would make a really awesome card. And finally, this really fun set called Look Who's Talking. And we have several different critters on here. We have a bear, and we have a moose, and we have the llama, and we have a rat. And then there's some really fun kind of punny sentiments on here. Just good for all year round. There's a great birthday sentiment. Here's just a fun hello, sending bear hugs. That's a great sentiment for the holidays. Another great party or birthday sentiment on there. So lots of fun things. Let me show you some quick little samples of some of this here. And some of the things in the samples you're going to see are for new items that I didn't show you, but most of these we do still have in stock. So here is the Fiesta Skinny Mini Borders. How fun are those, all colored up? And there they are with their new llama. And also there is a sentiment set that has that happy birthday party animal on it. Here is the Third Day Border. Look how simple that card is, but how beautiful it is. It also uses the Hallelujah is from the Easter Blessings Inside Scoop stamp set I showed you. Next up is Inky Fingers, and here you can see what I'm talking about with that Sugar Cube pigment ink. They have used that to stamp the thumb and fingerprints on this blue background and make these absolutely adorable little bunny rabbits. So much fun. Here is the On a Hinge chick, and I think you can see here, even though it's not in motion, you can kind of see those legs swing back and forth. And this one just makes me laugh. I think this is so funny. This one, they've actually put the legs on the hinge underneath the cracked egg, and so those legs on that one will swing back and forth. Next up is another from the Inside Scoop. You can see there that there is a sentiment on the outside, and then they've used one of the Inside Scoop sentiments on the inside of the card. Here is the Words of Faith, and I mentioned the Pretty Posies background. That's what you see paired with that one there. Here is another really pretty one. I really like this one. That is a frame die that has been released previously, and then you can see, of course, the Third Day Border and some flowers. Beautiful, beautiful Easter card. All right, here are some samples with the Folk Art Spring. This is the die set. You can see the Folk Art Tulip stencil used in the background, and there is the Folk Art Phrases on there with that fun sentiment. And here is another one that has the Scandinavian the Spring background stamp on there, and then the birdhouse, and it looks like they've used some flower stamps and dies from some of their previous releases. Here is another fun one that combines the Folk Art Tulip stencil as well as the Folk Art Phrases stamp to make some pretty simple but really nice cards. Another thing I wanted to point out is, let me find it here. Oh, I missed it. I'll get to it. This is the Look Who's Talking, and these are some absolutely adorable cards. Love that with those bears peeking out from behind that opening. And here the rat is with the happy birthday, and then here I like this one with all the llamas on here. Fiesta like there's no mañana. All right, here's some more with the Scandinavian spring background. I like this with this really soft blue on there, and then here's a pretty one with it in white on the craft background, and also with the Folk Art spring dies on there. Here is the Backstory Easter, and you can see here how pretty that is if you do it tone on tone. And remember that the Tailored Expressions makes it really easy because they have ink and cardstock that match. So it's really easy to find the perfect cardstock to use with your ink to do a tone on tone background. Here is a sample of the Stacked Season Spring. You can see what a cute card that makes when it's all colored up. And here, I wanted to show you this one. Look how elegant this is. This is the Folk Art Tulips, and they have done this in a really subtle color, and they've kind of faded it out towards the center of that so that it's mostly on the edges. I just think that is a really beautiful and elegant look. All right, I think that is all that I have to show you for now. As I mentioned, our first go-round went really quickly, so if there's something you like, you want to be sure and give us a call or come by to make sure you don't miss out. Hope you all have a great evening, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.